Wakey, wakey, rise and shine, everyone. Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch. Welcome into a very early morning live stream, much earlier than I had originally planned. But it looks like we do have the thunderstorms making landfall along the coast, just as some of the high resolution forecasts have shown. So that's perfect. Perfect timing and everything. Hello, Connor Neely. First come, first serve. Good morning. Yeah, things are starting out pretty active along the coast at the moment. Oh, weird. The YouTube counter took a while to reset. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we have a significant weather advisory for parts of Pacific County right now, issued by National Weather Service Portland. This includes Ocean Park, Bay Center, South Bend, and Raymond. So expires in 26 minutes, and they're warning of winds 30 miles per hour and pea-sized hail potentially, reported by a trained spotter. You don't see too many trained weather spotters out along the coast, especially at this time of the morning. So yeah, again, max hail size, 1/4 of an inch, pea size, and max wind gust is 30 miles per hour or less. So not a super robust thunderstorm. Usually something like this, you wouldn't even see an advisory put out if it's in the Seattle County warning area, which is literally just north of here. See, look at this. There's a pretty nice cell moving just north of Hoquiam right now, and it's had a history of lightning strikes right around the airport. These are going to be moving off to the northeast a bit. So these cells are likely going to be going into the Olympics, at least these ones up here. And who knows, maybe the orographic lift will help them increase their chances of producing more lightning over the Olympics later on. But the Olympics could also shred the storms too. So it's kind of a toss-up on exactly what will happen. Dumping snow and sticking Whatcom County. All right. Well, shucks. It must be up here somewhere, right? Yeah, the snow level's definitely lower up there. It's only 38 at the airport up there, 39 at the West Gadget Airport here. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's not going to take much to drag that snow level down up here. So I believe that you're seeing snow up there for sure. Thank you for the heads up, by the way. Yeah, some of these showers are beginning to move in to the Puget Sound area too, but the air mass is still pretty mild over the central Puget Sound. So it's probably going to take a stronger shower than these to drag the snow level down, but I wouldn't be surprised. Some areas around the central sound could see a rain-snow mix here over the next hour or so with these passing showers. But interested to see what happens when the main line of showers and storms moves through. The windy radar is just not having it today for some reason. Windy in general is just not having it. Yeah, here's our system that's bringing in the showers and thunderstorms today. The nice little shortwave trough right there. Center is moving into Haida, Hawaii, and then this front out of it, its frontal feature, is moving along the coast. And this has been producing lightning since it was over 1,000 miles off the coast. Like several thousand miles off the coast yesterday, we could see the lightning showing up on satellite. And see, it's more lightning right there, too. But radar scope's lightning has slowed down quite a bit. And radar scope and windy aren't the best for seeing real-time lightning. Actually, an app on your phone called Lightning, and it seems to be one of the best apps you can use for lightning. At least as far as I've noticed. You guys can hardly see that, but it is going off right now along the coast. All of those are brand new lightning strikes. Yeah, especially over 101 near Quinault, off the coast of Pacific Beach, and along Ocean Park in Hoquiam right now. And radar scope just crashed. How timely is that? Hello there. Good morning. Unfortunately, dealing with slightly worse sore throat this morning. So I definitely came down with something for sure. Unfortunately, I started feeling a little bit off Monday afternoon. So I think I caught something while I was at my dad's house on Saturday. Because I wasn't around any other family members until Monday afternoon, but I was already kind of feeling under the weather a little bit then. I thought maybe I had a scratchy throat because I wasn't drinking enough water, but then it persisted and started to worsen just a tad bit. It's not the worst sore throat I've ever had. It's scratchy for sure. I've been surviving off of cough drops, so that has been doing wonders for me. Just took a cough drop before I started this live stream, even by itself. If these storms hold together, how long till they move over the sound? It's going to be a few hours probably. These storms aren't moving too quickly. And the high resolution models. Let's go to the newest high resolution model. Okay, 15Z is not done yet, but the 14Z is rendering. It's showing some of these stronger winds with the cells too. It doesn't really have these storms moving into the area until 10 or 11 a.m. And the timing's usually off by about an hour on either side. So could be as late as noon, maybe even 1 p.m. But we're expected to have these cells at least enter Tacoma by 11 a.m. at the latest, or 10 a.m. at the earliest, realistically. And then we'll have the post-frontal cells and thunderstorms move in. And these could potentially drag the snow level down over certain areas. Like, again, going to be pretty conditional, so it just depends on where you're at, and if you're lucky enough to have a heavy shower over your area. I've already gotten reports of snow up north over Whatcom County on I-5 this morning, pretty early in the game. So, as you can tell, the models don't always have a great time. See, I mean, I'll say the HER sniffed this one out pretty good. The HER did a really good job of sniffing that one out. How will it do for the rest of the area? Because now the most recent HER is showing only rain for much of the sound here. But it's showing some snow showers for very isolated parts of the North Sound and the foothills possibly as well. Could have some snow here tonight even. This is showing 8 p.m. some isolated snow along Pierce and King counties. But again, this model doesn't always do a great job at snow prediction. The fact that it's so far nailing Whatcom and northern Skagit counties is pretty amazing to me, in my opinion. And overall, it's not going to be a windy system, but any of the stronger cells that move through could easily produce some stronger downburst winds ahead of them, as is being shown up here, as is being portrayed here on the model. These little isolated areas of red, those are definitely going to be convective winds, which means associated with thunderstorm activity. The rest of it's going to be no more than a mild breeze, at best, by the looks of it. Yeah, here's visible satellite at the moment. There's a very unstable and cool air mass behind this frontal system here. The frontal system itself and the cells ahead of it are currently producing the lightning. Not seeing any lightning behind it at the moment, but I am seeing quite a bit of convection. You can see these bubbly clouds off the coast here. These are definitely going to turn into stronger showers or thunderstorms later on this morning as they move inland. So we'll just have to keep our eyes out and see how things materialize, for sure. So just as a heads up, if you ask questions on if your area is going to get snow today, most likely I will not have an answer for them. Been making sure I post about this on Facebook too. So I will answer your question this time around right now, but in the future, let's just to save any hassle, let's please not ask for a forecast for your specific area. It's too uncertain. It's way too conditional. The chances are marginal, if less, at best. So, Rochester area, you definitely have a chance, but no guarantees. I think your area has one of the lower chances of snow today. So I just got to be the bearer of bad news, unfortunately. I gotta post it to my other socials real quick. Hang on. Wow, woke up with some really sore shoulders this morning. I think I slept on my shoulders kind of odd. David Bruckner says, really appreciate your forecast and live streams. Wondering about weather on North Coast this weekend. High winds, heavy rain. Well, the pattern's likely going to stabilize as we go into the weekend. And let me show you what I mean. Enumclaw, snow. Again, guys, I won't be answering all of the questions for specific areas. Enumclaw does have a chance of snow, yes. But again, it's a very low shot. So from this point on, let's please not ask any area specific questions. Sorry about that. It's going to take up too much time, and it's far from a certainty. It's going to be, you're going to be lucky if you get snow. I'm going to say that. You're going to be one of the lucky ones if you get snow. The HER 12Z this morning was really showing these strong convective gusts as they made their way inland. Again, you see these little yellow spots. These are associated with thunderstorms. Those would be severe thunderstorms out over the waters if it materialized. Let's see, the wind threat really starts to die down after tomorrow afternoon. Unfortunately, I don't really have any high resolution forecasts in range of the entire weekend, but I can get pretty close. Even the RRFS experimental model also showing the strong convective winds with those storms too. But as soon as they start to make landfall, they immediately begin to shrivel out because the ocean has so much more available potential energy for the storms to thrive off of than land. As soon as they hit land, it kind of just fizzles out. See, you see this frontal system. This is borderline an atmospheric river hitting Vancouver Island, but most of the wind stays off the coast this weekend. We'll be watching it as it moves closer, though, because it looks like that's a pretty decent little low-pressure system right there. Yeah, it's a little embedded shortwave, but lightning went over Ocean Park at 7:15 was the wildest I've ever seen. Lots of hail and a 49-mile-per-hour gust. Oh, boy. Someone crossing their fingers for lowland thunder snow. Could be possible. You know, it happens from time to time. You don't need it to be warm at the surface to get thunderstorms. That's why you have thunder snow. You have elevated thunderstorms like we sometimes get throughout the year, then you don't need it to be warm at the surface. You can have it be below freezing at the surface, but have plenty of unstable air aloft for a parcel of air to rise freely. What I mean by that is basically producing thunderstorms, but well above the surface. Look at how quickly it shifts from westerly to southerly within a matter of a couple of hours. Friday, and then see there's that system, but the run on the high resolution model only goes out to 4 p.m. Saturday right now, but it keeps us dry during that time. So yeah, again, this advisory remains in effect until 8:15 this morning for Pacific County for pea-sized hail and 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And there was a little bit of a stronger storm that was near Hoquiam earlier. Unfortunately, been having some trouble with my radar scope PC application. You see, it originated off the coast, moved directly over Westport, and then just west of the Hoquiam Airport. It seems to be losing some steam now, but it's also moving into a radar dead zone too, aka the Olympics. So it's a little bit hard to track its progress. And unfortunately, well, Bellingham has snow. Thanks. That's the second report I've gotten already of Bellingham having snow. Let's see. Where was I gonna go? Okay, I was gonna go to the WeatherBug lightning detector because that seems to be one of the best online lightning detectors. At the moment, it's not showing zip. So, like literally, I was just saying, as soon as these storms make landfall, they run into a brick wall and start losing energy instantly. Now, again, the air is much cooler down below the surface, like at the surface along the coast. And inland it's cooler as well, but it's much more mild over the coast, enough to really boost the convective potential energy needed to grow these storms, which is why we saw so much lightning earlier off the coast. But then, as soon as it moved on the coast, it ran into a brick wall and just started losing steam. So there's definitely a chance of some thunderstorms working their way inland, especially as the sun starts to come up and attempts to warm things a little bit. That could definitely help with some with initiating some surface parcels. Good morning, waiting for it in Lacey. The old wives' tale says thunder and winter means snow will follow within 7 to 10 days. Let's see if that happens. McKenna Roy area too warm for snow. Yeah, a lot of us are too warm for snow. But again, it takes a moderately or heavy sized shower to drag that snow level down. Basically, what that means is you have cold air aloft that gets pushed down by a storm or rain shower's downdraft long enough to build up a little bit of accumulation or at least see some snowflakes or a rain snow mix. Just depending on how strong those downdrafts are. Because whatever goes up must come down. So you get an updraft that forms the showers, you have a downdraft that descends below the shower. That's just how convection works. It's a cycle. I think I'm going to fire up the TikTok stream, but do it a little different today. How do I want to do? All right, hang on tight, folks. I have to clean my camera. Ooh, geez. Looking a little rough this. Definitely tell I'm not feeling too. Love that I'm already getting a receding hairline too. That's just lovely. This would help if I actually changed the name of the live. Probably not going to stream as long on TikTok. I'm trying to stream 3 days. I don't know if it's 3 days in a row, but at the very least, 3 different times on 3 different days to try to get some more live permissions. Oh boy. Let's see how this goes. 3, 2, 1. Live. Wait for some people to hop in, but in the meantime, let's continue our YouTube and Facebook coverage, shall we? One said Sleet and Randall right now, okay? And Jen Raymond wants snow. Perfect. Watching what's his name's live stream at Stevens. Yeah, you were watching Ben's live stream. Ben and Jonathan were up there. Ben and Jonathan, yeah, really started dumping in the late hours. Absolutely. Carlene Gonzalez says, I want snow unless we travel. Yeah, right now, travel conditions aren't the best. Luckily, I wouldn't say luckily, but right now, you can't get completely over Stevens Pass at the moment. And they have that, what's it called? That shuttle or pilot car that goes over like a 6-mile span of Stevens Pass over towards Cole's Corner. But at least the roadway is open to Stevens Pass. Yeah, that is true. The roadway is open to Stevens. It seems like the lightning has currently come to a brief pause. But again, if we can get some elevated instability going inland, then we can definitely sustain some of these thunderstorms. But as soon as, of course, as I was saying, as soon as these storms started making landfall along the coast this morning, they immediately begun to fizzle out. But still some really heavy showers, and this would be more than enough to drag the snow level down for some areas. So just a heads up. Yeah, cold in Buckley. It's pretty cool everywhere. A lot of us are at or below 40 degrees this morning to start things out. Good morning from Puyallup. Hello, good morning from your neighbor to the north in Milton. Like, for example, it's 38 down here at JBLM right now, 37 in South Hill. But it's 40 over the Tacoma Narrows. Let's see, 40 over SeaTac, 41 over Boeing Field. These little showers, these aren't going to do it. These are just going to be probably little rain showers at best. Maybe some little, if you're lucky, you may see a few snowflakes mix in. But we need these stronger showers to really move in. And again, hello, TikTok audience. Welcome in. Glad to see you guys are hopping in. Again, live streaming. Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch. For the full experience, go on to YouTube and Facebook. Look up Puget Sound Stormwatch. That's where you'll see the full experience live stream, where I have access to radar and all of that. This is just an experiment. I'm trying out a second day of streaming to see if we can really push the algorithm here in the future. All right, 15 views to start out. Perfect. Awesome sauce. Again, welcome in everyone. I see a lot of you guys hopping in at the moment. That is awesome sauce. Again, I'll show you guys this real quick. If you guys want to see the full experience, then your best bet would be to hop over to Facebook and YouTube. We're tracking this line of showers and thunderstorms right now. Not producing any lightning at the moment, but it was producing lightning over the coast when this line of showers was a bit further west. But running into a wall of more stable air as we move inland. So the lightning threat has kind of diminished. Marine warning. Waterspout possible. NWS Portland, hang on, I need the screen to refresh for this. We just got a marine warning issued for one of these storms. Just in time. Just pan things over. Okay. Yeah, significant weather advisory for Pacific County right now, including Ocean Park, Bay Center, Raymond, and South Bend. But this is in effect for 5 more minutes. But okay, there we go. It's way down here. That orange box, that's a marine warning for a potential waterspout moving towards Rockaway Beach and Manzanita. So heads up. This area actually got an EF2 tornado back in 2016 from a waterspout. So just something to watch very closely there. You can't really see it on the radar very well, but yeah, it's got a fair amount of rotation. You can see that. Where the darker colors meet the brighter colors, that is low-level rotation. This is called a couplet. So just draw a couple of arrows here roughly. Although the arrow direction is backwards, I want it to be counterclockwise. There we go. There's your rotation. That would be where your waterspout is. Again, that is approaching at Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Rockaway Beach, Manzanita, Garibaldi area, heads up. Potential waterspout coming your way here in the next 30 to 45 minutes, potentially. See a lot of you guys hopping in on TikTok. Welcome in. It's 39 degrees at 5:30 a.m., 35 now in Buckley. Oh yeah, temperatures dropping quick around the area. Definitely a good chance to see some flurries if you're around the region. At the very least, some flurries. And we're looking at velocity here on the right and reflectivity here on the left. So these are making their way into the Puget Sound area in the next couple of hours. So heads up. Really, anytime between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. looks like prime time for heavy showers, potential thunderstorms, and in the unlikely event, some snow for some areas as these showers move into the area. Hello there, Julie. Good morning. Hang on, I'm going to switch you guys back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what's going on around the area right now. Again, if you guys want the full experience, head over to YouTube and Facebook, Puget Sound Stormwatch, to see what I'm seeing at the moment. I'll briefly move you guys back and forth on TikTok just to see what's really going on. So the RRFS experimental model has these showers moving in around 11 a.m. Unlike the HER, which has around 10 a.m. So a little bit of disagreement again on the timing of things. Let's go see lightning flash density. Again, an experimental product, but it does show pretty good chances of seeing lightning around the area by noon today. So we'll see if that verifies. And then several rounds of storms possible as we go into the nighttime tonight. So just something to really keep tabs on closely. The one thing the RRFS really doesn't have either is snow really south of Skagit County. But again, it doesn't really do a good job showing the decrease in snow level with these showers. So just a heads up on that. It doesn't do a great job portraying that, typically. Hey there, see a lot of new faces again here on TikTok. Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch. We're currently tracking thunderstorms moving onto the coast at the moment. Currently, right now, there is a line of strong showers and embedded thunderstorms making landfall between Jefferson County and Pacific County here in Washington, with a history of producing thunderstorms in the last hour. But as some of these cells have made it onshore, they've really started to lose steam as they made it inland. And currently, right now, I'm not seeing any lightning strikes as of the last half hour or so. But we'll double check on that as the day goes on. And definitely a potential for snow, but it's going to be a very conditional threat. Right now, reports of snow all the way up north in Bellingham and surrounding areas. But it appears that those showers are starting to move out of the region towards the Whatcom County foothills at the moment. Yeah, see, it was snowing earlier over I-5, but that is starting to move off into the hills of Whatcom County at the moment. All right, anyone on TikTok, are you getting any thunderstorms or any snow right now? Go ahead and let me know. I'll be checking back on the comments periodically. Just wish there was a better way of seeing how many live viewers there. Yeah, go ahead and let me know. And again, for the full experience, Puget Sound Stormwatch on YouTube or Facebook, where I'm currently doing the full screen live stream. Westport, heavy rain mixed with hail and lightning. Thank you for the heads up. And they're in Des Moines from here in Rochester. Okay, so yeah, you're in Rochester. All right. And again, there's a marine warning just off the coast of Rockaway Beach and Manzanita, with the potential of a waterspout moving towards the Oregon coast right now. So just a heads up, if you're in Tillamook County along the coast, just be vigilant of what's going on. Keep your eyes along the coast and make sure there isn't a waterspout currently moving your way. Otherwise, that could easily go tornado warned if a waterspout decides to move on shore again. Those of you guys who remember, back in 2016, the Manzanita area had an EF2 tornado move ashore from a waterspout, and it caused I think $2 million in damage, if I recall correctly. I think it was $2 million in damage. I'm starting to see some of these heavier showers pop up too. And with the mild air mass currently in place, I wouldn't be surprised to at least hear reports of rain-snow mixes around the Seattle-Tacoma area today. So I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled on things outside too. See, I think the sun's gone up enough so I can open up the window. There be concern of wind with us today at all? No, so not overall. The only concern with wind is stronger winds within the thunderstorms, but right now that's not verifying. So that's good news. We're not seeing incredible wind. Like, we're seeing breezy conditions, but so far none of these storms have produced any damaging or significant winds. So far. Besides, by the time they get in the Enumclaw, most of these cells should be losing their steam. If we go look at max wind gusts since midnight, yeah, there hasn't really been squat around the area. It's gusting to 32 at West Point in Seattle, but that's about it. That's pretty much it. I see satellite right now. Sun's starting to rise on the area. Pretty much overcast around the region. Still some lightning popping up down here in Oregon, but overall the lightning has come to an end, at least temporarily, as these cells have moved onto the coast. And then we'll have some sun breaks and the potential for more isolated thunderstorms. See, we just got one way off to the west there, a lightning strike. Definitely a chance for some thunderstorms and some snow showers around western Washington and potentially western Oregon, mainly northwestern Oregon today too. The air mass behind this front is going to be really chilly. So don't be surprised if you see some snowflakes today. Or if you're one of the lucky people, then some accumulations. Cell appears to be holding strength as it moves towards the Matlock area, Mason County. See what that does when it moves into the Hood Canal area, because this area produces quite a bit of wind shear. So this is how we got our spin up here in Port Orchard 7 years ago. Actually, it's 2026 now, so a little over 7 years ago when we got that EF2 tornado in Port Orchard. It was because of the velocity coming off the shear zone here in the Hood Canal area. Okay, moving along. Anyways, yeah, some of these showers are moving up the I-5 corridor in Olympia right now. And I'll be keeping an eye out my window because some of these showers are just outside of my area right now. But the air mass right now towards the surface seems to be a little too mild. Gonna take a stronger shower. Like something around this magnitude or stronger. Anything you see with the yellow or orange on the radar will likely yield some, at least some mixing precipitation around much of the area today. And folks on TikTok too, I've already told YouTube and Facebook this. I'm kind of dealing with some sore throat condition, so my voice is not 100% of what it would normally be. So just bear with me on that. Very inopportune timed cold. Yeah, weather bug's still not showing any lightning right now. This is the weather bug lightning detector that we're looking at right here. And zilch, it says over 2,200 miles, almost 2,300 miles away. Alrighty. Yeah, so pretty much what we're looking at for today is the chance of thunderstorms and maybe some snow around much of the Puget Sound area today. Best chance again is north sound. So if you're north of Everett, that's going to be your best chance of seeing snow. And a lot of these areas up here, Bellingham, which is 36 degrees at the moment at the airport, has already reported snow over the. So it's verifying pretty good up north, but we'll have to wait and see here down south. Like Everett southward is going to be extremely, again, marginal. Like you need a heavy shower and you need just the right sort of downdraft for it to work out. But yeah, again, that marine warning off the coast of Oregon still in effect for the next 20 minutes right now. Sure thing. Glad to be here with the updates. Thank you for watching, Wes. Yeah, likely at the moment, at the very least, heavy rain is moving into Hoquiam, and pretty much along the entire coast at the same time, because this system is oriented south to north. Let me show you guys on TikTok here. Here's what I'm looking at here on Radar Scope Pro right now. This is our line of showers and embedded thunderstorms. And then down here in the orange box, we have the special marine warning. This is approaching Rockaway Beach, Garibaldi, and Manzanita right now. So we have some cells that have been firing ahead of this, but are losing some steam as they move inland. Because the water, for the most part, being how mild the sea surface temperature is right now, it's still warmer and more convective than what we have over land right now. So the convective potential is better over water than it is over land. But these are moving up towards the Puget Sound right now. Looking at velocity right now. But yeah, anyways, we're tracking this line of showers and thunderstorms. This will also have the potential to produce some snow showers around the Puget Sound later on. But exactly where is uncertain. So I won't be answering any where and when questions just because of how brutally uncertain this forecast is. Just playing it safe this time around. Currently 42 degrees here at Hoquiam Bowerman Airfield and heavy showers right on the vicinity. A lot of these showers are crossing directly over the radar site right now. Thank you, Calming Jasmine T, for following. Appreciate that. And welcoming everyone who's just joining. So these showers are going to be moving into the area in the next 2.5 hours, according to model guidance. Again, okay, we have a lightning strike 123 miles away. Yeah, that's over the Oregon coast right now. Yeah, thank you for that +1. Yeah, currently with some cells over Oregon moving towards, this is Arch Cape. So Cannon Beach, Arch Cape area, all the way down towards Tillamook right now. That cell is coming in very shortly. Currently, no lightning strikes in the last half hour or so off the Washington coast. That we had quite a bit of lightning over the Washington coast about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, but that has since dissipated. Again, if we look at model forecast for the area too, this is an experimental model, but it does have the showers moving into the area by around, it says 19Z, but you take 8 hours off of this and you get 11 a.m. So they show the times in Zulu time, which is the same as Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Coordinated Time. You just subtract 8 off of that for Pacific Standard Time, and that's your time, again, in Pacific Standard. So this has the Puget Sound area getting this band of showers by around 11 a.m. or so this morning. And then following that, there will be a bunch of post-frontal showers capable of producing thunder, hail, and maybe some snow, too, if we're lucky. So just something to keep tabs on as time goes on. Yeah, folks. So again, you guys watching on TikTok, if you want the full experience, go find Puget Sound Stormwatch on YouTube or Facebook, where I'm currently doing the full screen live stream. I'm trying to set it up eventually so that I have the capability of doing my TikTok live streams directly off the computer at the same time as I'm doing my YouTube and Facebook live streams too. But for right now, I'm just kind of experimenting with this setup. So if it's not what you wanted to see, then I completely understand, and I'm very sorry about that. But we're just in the testing phases right now. Trying to test to see how good the algorithm gets the word out to the area. Trying to see if we have any big temp drop here at Hoquiam right now, but the showers are taking their sweet time to move inland. Could be really interesting to see what the National Weather Service in Portland does. If this cell off the shore holds together as it moves towards Rockaway Beach, wonder, are they going to put it under a severe warning or tornado warning, possibly? It does appear that the rotation is beginning to weaken a bit as it moves closer. Yeah, the rotation's much less broad now, which is good. You don't want to see a waterspout make landfall anywhere, realistically. Drink water. Thanks for the reminder. Love a good snow day, but sounds like it's not possible in my area. I'd settle for some flurries, though. Yeah, a good snow day today, unless you're in the higher foothills, so like Gold Bar eastward, potentially North Bend eastward. Maybe if you're east of Enumclaw, but I don't see Enumclaw getting any heavy snow today. But areas up in Bellingham along I-5 have reportedly had a snow day, too. Much. Okay, yeah, so we're starting to see some of these post-frontal showers come up, but they're not looking particularly intense right now. Look at the lightning strike map one more time, and so far it's those storms off the Oregon coast now. Earlier, it was off the Washington coast and directly along the Washington coast, but right now it's shifted down towards Oregon at the moment. Watching to see if anything fires up in the short term along the Washington coast. Because again, we have more potential energy for storms off the coast over the water than we do inland at the moment. And we're not going to really get some surface-based action. It's mainly going to be elevated. With the cooler air down below towards the surface, we're not going to get much initiation of these storms near the surface. It's going to be an elevated threat for sure. That's why you have thunder snow. You don't always need warm air near the surface to have a thunderstorm fire up. That's why they have surface based and they have elevated. In this case, it's going to be elevated. And that's what you get when you have thunder snow, is elevated instability. This means you have cool air near the ground, but above that cool air, you have really, really cool air that allows for a parcel of air to rise freely on its own. And that is the lifting mechanism that a lot of people refer to. So when they say lift, that means something to get a parcel of air over what's called the level of free convection, or the LFC line. In case, if you guys are familiar with what a sounding is, then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But once it elevates the parcel of air above that LFC line, then it rises freely. And that region is what's called CAPE, or convective available potential energy. You can already tell these showers are running into a brick wall as soon as they move on the coast. So the main source of fuel for these storms is shutting down slowly but surely. But let's see, there could be some areas where there's some instability aloft that could help regenerate these storms and showers. At the very least, this could definitely bring some mixed precipitation to much of western Washington, or just in general the Puget Sound area. I haven't heard any snow reports along the coast, probably just because of how mild the air mass is over the coast right now. Either way, these showers are marching their way eastward. Northeastward, I should say, towards the northeast. You can definitely, you can tell where the front is. I'm going to draw the line. That difference of color right there, moving up Pacific County, the darker greens and the lighter greens. This is where the frontal boundary is right now. Do we know what the snow line will be for Lewis County? If you're talking about the freezing level, like the snow level, then it's uncertain at the moment, but I can give you a general range. We go again to weather.gov/SCW for the National Weather Service forecast for this area. You can go to the graphics menu, so local forecast graphics, and then you can go to the precipitation drop down and then go to minimum snow level. And right now for Lewis County, it's somewhere around 17 to 1800 feet. That is the approximate minimum snow level. Okay, there we go. We got lightning again. Pacific and Grays Harbor counties. And the best way to do this on the PC, at least from what I've seen, is through WeatherBug. I believe there's one also called lightningtracker.com too. Wonder if I have that in my bookmarks. Oh, we lost a follower on TikTok. Too bad. Sorry, were you guys not pleased? Okay, it's called lightningmaps.org. Bit slow though. Really slow. It's not even rendering right now, so I'm not even going to worry about that one. Oh, lost a follower on Facebook too. Jeez, you guys must be really mad at me for some reason. Let me show you guys on TikTok here real fast. This is the WeatherBug lightning tracker. Here's the Tacoma area. Here's lightning over Pacific and Grays Harbor counties right now. Right over the county line, moving up into this area. So about to cross Highway 101 between Raymond and Aberdeen. Let's see, does Windy show this? Windy does not. Radar scope also does not. So, see, that's why WeatherBug is an invaluable tool, for sure. But somewhere up in this area here, where this area of showers is right now. And again, on PC, if you can see my cursor, I'm looking right here. Let me circle this for you guys. Right there. That is currently producing lightning as it crosses into Grays Harbor County. And looking at velocity, here's our frontal boundary right there. The difference, the sharp cutoff between the darker green and the lighter green, that's your front. In case anyone wanted to learn anything today. Yeah, so frontal boundaries moving onshore right now. I'm waiting to see how much the temperature drops here at Hoquiam. Again, this is visible satellite, and you can start to see these popcorn showers show up off the coast. These are likely going to turn into heavier showers, capable of producing hail, thunder, and maybe snow later on. But we have to get the front out of the area first. Yeah, it's making its way inland, and you can see these showers are starting to intensify off the coast too. Yeah, that's that. Again, anyone just tuning in on TikTok, if you're hanging around for more than 5 seconds, the full experience is on YouTube and Facebook at Puget Sound Stormwatch. Good morning from Port Townsend. Hello, good morning from Milton. Maybe they were lost, so they left. Learn things every time you stream. Yeah, that's why I try to go back and forth between just showing my face and showing the screen so that we keep some engagement. I've noticed on TikTok, we'll have one person come in, it says a bunch of people join, and then less than 5 seconds later, they dip out. Like, see, that person was only in for 2 seconds. I think it's just the short attention span from people nowadays. You know, I think, in my opinion, TikTok has really glorified this short attention span. Or maybe more people are just ADD and ADHD than we realize. No shade, TikTok. Yeah, that marine warning is in effect for 6 more minutes. Again, wind gusts 46 miles per hour or greater, and a waterspout possible. But it does appear to be weakening as it moves towards the coast, which is good news. I just wish there was a chaser down there right now so we could see what they're seeing. I don't think... Does anyone know if they have any live cameras for Rockaway Beach looking west? Maybe they do, but I'm not going to pay close attention to that right now. Paying close attention on what's going on in Washington. This is why we're Puget Sound Storm Watch. Just watching to see what goes on throughout the day. Appears these showers are starting to organize a bit over Bainbridge Island, so if you're along shoreline, Edmonds, Mount Lake Terrace area, Linwood, if you see snow or any other form of mixed precipitation, please let me know. That way I can get it out to the public. Go back to the lightning map real quick. Nothing new since that last series of lightning strikes. At least not yet. 2 seconds is the TikTok attention span, someone said. Yeah, I believe it. I stick with this weather information because I am outside to keep this weather in mind. Yeah, good call. Your number one source of weather information should always be NOAA or the National Weather Service, though. Just because even though I'm a full-time forecaster, I'm not able to get everything. You know, I still have to sleep too, and I'm just one person that does all of it. So there's some things I'm gonna miss. There are definitely some things I'm going to miss here and there. It's human nature. Oh, pardon me, everyone. I gotta change some of my stream defaults here. Okie doke. Anyone just joining in on TikTok, welcome in everyone. Glad to see you. This is Anthony here with Puget Sound Stormwatch. Currently watching thunderstorms move onto the coast at the moment towards the Puget Sound area, but very likely these are not going to hold all the way. So just a heads up, if you're expecting thunderstorms today, don't expect them. Same with the snow, but the snow threat again is going to be extremely, extremely conditional. You're just going to have to be in the right spot at the right time to really see any snowflakes today. That's just how hit or miss in nature these conditions are going to be. So just a heads up on that. You may see snow today, you may not. I'm going to pin a different product here on the store. We're going to do the big dark sticker. Go look at wind gusts. Nothing huge so far. That's good. Nothing out of the ordinary on wind. But the frontal system has moved onshore now and is making its way up towards the Puget Sound area. So the heads up for anyone who doesn't know. Hey there, ETG Vortex, welcome in. Ooh, gusting to 30, what is that? 33 now at Hoquiam as that front moves over. Let me show you guys on TikTok this real quick. This is the radar, reflectivity, and velocity here on the right. Again, we're looking at this line of showers and embedded thunderstorms along the coast right now. Mainly Grace Harbor and Pacific counties, moving towards the northeast a bit. And then velocity shows that the frontal boundary is somewhere in this area here. Note the difference between the darker greens and the lighter greens. It moves up towards the northeast towards the area. And recent temperature right now, temperature is actually up to 43 and gusting to 33 out of the southwest at Hoquiam Bowerman Airfield right now. So again, moving off towards the northeast. So Olympia is going to be next in line. Current temperature at Olympia is 39 degrees, so right on the marginal cusp of seeing some mixed precipitation with any lighter bands of precipitation that come through. But any heavier bands like this one could easily mix down the snow level close to the surface, or at the very least a few hundred feet above sea level for some time. So don't be surprised if some of you guys watching today get a little bit of snow out of this, or at least see some snow showers, some flurries, or even just a couple of at best. Will any of this hit Port Townsend? Entirely possible. But I feel like due to your proximity to the water, your chance is probably going to be a little less. Your air mass towards the surface may be a little too mild. But again, if you bring a heavier shower over that area, the chances are going to be there regardless. You can tell the system's becoming sloppy as it moves on shore. Railing, lightning, and thunder pouring down rain after a nice quiet night. The ridge line above Highway 508 in Onalaska Cinnabar Morton area has very clear snow line right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for letting me know about that. You notice we're going back in time. You notice how we had lots of lightning earlier off the coast. This was at about 7:13 this morning. Going back to about 7 o'clock, we had quite a bit of lightning producing showers moving onto the coast. And then as soon as these moved onto the coast, they pretty much just stopped. So most recent image here, again, showing these weakening showers moving inland. That's normal. Because the air over the land is extremely, well, it's not extremely mild. It's just relatively mild compared to the ocean. The ocean holds more heat anyways. It's like a heat sink effect. And so the sea surface temperatures are going to be higher than the surface temperatures inland, especially when the sun is not up yet. So we're just kind of watching as these showers propagate inland and really see what happens. But Olympia is the next major city in line to see anything. So again, anyone watching from Olympia, go ahead and let me know what you see in the next hour or so. Because it is coming. And they allowed the special marine warning to expire off the coast of Rockaway Beach. Just a heads up. So it looks like the waterspout potential has decreased significantly, which is good. That's what you want to see. But no new lightning in the last 15 or so minutes, according to the WeatherBug lightning detector. So, good news if you're not a lover of active weather. Cheryl says, thank you for this info. Yeah, sure thing. Just kind of dilly-dallying right now is what happens over the sound later on. I need to get some more water here in a little bit. So scroll through TikTok, see if I may have missed any questions. Nope, just people joining for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time and then dipping out. But we got one new follower and we're up to 690 total views. Wow. That's a big time boost over yesterday. Big time boost. Been streaming for about 40 minutes now, so awesome sauce. And welcome in everyone. Glad to see you. Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch for the full experience. Go on YouTube and Facebook, Puget Sound Stormwatch. I'm doing the full screen live stream up there. That would be the best way to view this briefing right now, this live briefing. Dandy Keel says hello from Ocean Shores. Hello from Milton, Washington. Just east of Tacoma. I've conditions slowed down there a bit. Looks like this frontal system is like basically right on top of you right now. And of course, another untimely crash from radar scope. Go figure. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Yeah, so the main front's moving over Ocean Shores right now off to the northeast, and then we have to deal with these post-frontal showers. But currently, right now, it doesn't look like any of them are producing lightning. The lightning has come to a brief pause once more, region-wide. Dilly-dally. Yeah, dilly-dally is right. It may be time for another cough drop here soon. Starting to really burn out my vocal cords. Gotta be careful with that. Yeah, visible satellite shows some of these low top convective cells moving onshore here very shortly. And some nice cloud tops extending several miles out from the parent showers and storms inland right now over the Puget Sound area. That cooler, unstable air mass is on the way. It's about to move onshore in the next 2 hours or so. And that will also spread inland and give us another chance of some snow showers later on. What about the Shelton area? Again, I'm not going to go into specifics for requests, like for individual cities, just to save some time and also due to the high uncertainty. So, Shelton area, yes, you can definitely expect some snow showers later on. And that's just being cautious. Because you're at 37 degrees right now. So you're right on the teeter-totter of marginal rain-snow mix. And when you bring these stronger showers through, there's definitely a chance to see at least a few snowflakes for the Shelton area once these move over your immediate area. So just a heads up on that. But that's still about an hour away or so. But keep your eyes out to your west, your southwest, and just be vigilant. Because there's been lightning in the vicinity of the coast throughout this morning so far. So just stay weather aware. Just make sure if you hear thunder, get the shelter immediately. You do not want to be struck by lightning, or you do not want lightning striking within even a mile of you, because it'll light you up. Trust me on that. It'll absolutely light you up. ETG Vortex got the flu 4 days ago, and it's kicking his butt. Washington Weather Chasers, yeah, they're enjoying the snow at Stevens Pass. That's where they're at. Yeah, does anyone know if they stayed the night up there? I think they stayed the night up there. I think Jonathan was posting photos from this morning, but I don't know if those were from yesterday or from today. Thunder rolling in Montesano. Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're not detecting any lightning strikes at least yet. So it must be the cloud-to-cloud lightning. Yeah, because the nearest lightning strike was about 30 minutes or so. 30 minutes ago. I was going to say 30 minutes away, but 30 minutes ago to your southwest. So a lot of people call it heat lightning too. Heat lightning's a myth. There's no such thing as heat lightning. I just hate to spoil your parade right there, but it's just cloud-to-cloud lightning that you can't see because the cloud diffuses the lightning so much. But thank you for the heads up from Montesano. Appreciate that report. All right. Let's check a few more things out here. Yeah, so the frontal system is well on shore at the moment. Now we're just watching the post-frontal showers, so heads up, Grace Harbor Coast. You're not quite out of the woods yet. There's some cells out here, some of which have the capability of producing small hail, thunder, and lightning later on in the day, particularly later in the morning time. It's still a couple hours out from the Puget Sound. Probably another hour or so before we get some really heavy rain conditions for Olympia and possible snow flurries embedded within that. And if you guys have any reports on snow or thunder or lightning, hail, any of the sorts, go ahead and let me know. There's quite a bit of lightning several hundred miles off the Oregon coast as well. Appreciate the information. I'm a delivery driver in the Tacoma and vicinity. Awesome. Yeah. Glad to help you out. Oh, we got the thing. What's that going to be? Okay. Forecast discussion. Thought maybe we might have gotten a weather advisory. Unsettled conditions continue through Thursday as another frontal system brings additional precipitation, including heavier mountain snowfall at times. An upper ridge begins to build into the Pacific Northwest on Friday. Again, ridge means pleasant, stable conditions. No showers, no wind, just sun, fog, and cooler conditions. Well, cooler if you're down in the valleys. Otherwise, you're going to be above normal for temperatures. If you're down in the valleys where you have those temperature inversions, then it's going to hold a lot of that cooler air down at the lower elevations. Like really anywhere below the foothills in particular, with the stronger inversions in place. Another frontal system will move into the area over the weekend into early next week. That is the synopsis. Lisa Hoverston says snow in Ashford. Thank you for the heads up. Are you in Ashford city limits or are you up closer towards the mountain? Like the entrance to the national park? There have been a number of convective showers along the coast this morning, but at this time, most activity has coalesced into a band moving onshore along the Washington coast. This band will move through western Washington today, as mentioned in the short-term section. A rain-snow mix cannot be ruled out across much of the lowlands today as this activity moves through. Some minor tweaks were made to the forecast this morning to add a mention of this to more areas of western Washington. The rest of the forecast detail below is on track, and we will continue to monitor and update as needed today. That is from the National Weather Service office in Seattle. They've issued a winter weather advisory for a localized region of Lake Crescent as well. The Lake Crescent area west of Port Angeles, you're under a winter weather advisory in the short term. It says it was valid as of 3 a.m. this morning, is in effect until 7 p.m. this afternoon for Lake Crescent area, including Highway 101. And snow levels will lower towards 700 to 1,000 feet by early Thursday morning, resulting in the potential of rain-snow mix in heavier showers. Light snow accumulations will need to be monitored for the Cascade Valleys Thursday morning, is what they're saying right now. Accumulating snowfall will continue for the passes into late Thursday before it begins to taper off. An additional 1 to 2 feet is expected for the passes. So Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, White Pass, you guys are under the gun for heavy snowfall coming up. The uncertainty begins to increase in the ensemble forecasts Monday into Tuesday in regards to the extent and duration of precipitation early next week. Temperatures will warm above average early next week with the upper ridging influence, with highs into the low to mid 50s in January. Those of you guys who don't know, our average temperature is usually in the 40s for January. But in the 50s, especially the mid 50s, that is pretty crazy. What a way to start out the new year, am I right? There's a 20% chance of thunder along the Pacific coast this afternoon. Again, from Hoquiam up to Quileute. Isolated thunderstorms will remain possible across the coastal waters today. Another front will move through the waters Friday and Saturday, likely bringing another round of elevated winds to the coastal water. Just the coastal waters. Yeah, outside of that, we have high surf advisories for the coast until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So high surf expected. That's really about it for that. Yeah, no new lightning strikes being detected at the moment. But the front's on its way. It's really going to drop the temperature behind it. I haven't seen the temperature or the wind gust update in quite some time for Hoquiam. At least not yet. It says the temperature's down to 40. And down to the mid to upper 30s for some of the higher elevations of Grace Harbor County at the moment. We're down under 40 for much of the South Sound already as it is. And the Southwest Interior also hanging right around 40. Max temperature since midnight shown here in the low 40s, upper 30s for much of the area. Minimum temperature is actually what we're seeing right now, surprisingly. Again, for wind gusts, nothing major at the moment. Nothing major is expected either. Not yet, at least. But so far, so good. We're not seeing any big changes to the forecast. Anything super erratic. Snowing in Maple Falls, Washington. Wow, thank you for the heads up. Maple Falls, I believe you're up. Okay, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, I believe you're up in Whatcom County. Yeah. Snowing, Peaceful Valley, Maple Falls, and Glacier area. Currently with those showers moving through. The showers are becoming a little bit more organized up here in the North Sound. So if you guys again experience any sort of hail or snow or any mix, go ahead and let me know. If you're up here in Snohomish County, Kitsap County, or Island County, there's some heavier showers moving through, and the shower activity is beginning to move up the I-5 corridor now in Olympia. Nothing big coming inland into the weekend. No. Nothing big. I know when my weather app said 56 one day, 57 another, I'm like, what's going on? I know, right? Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. Some of the craziest weather in the world the last month or so. It's why you have storm chasers that have been flying out to this area. Ooh, snow squall warning in Montana. Interesting. All right, TikTok. We've been going for just about an hour here now. 711 views. That's pretty good. Looks like a lot of you guys aren't staying tuned in, so I think we're going to end the live on TikTok. And if you guys want to stick around for the live broadcast, head over to YouTube and Facebook at Puget Sound Stormwatch for the full live streaming experience. We'll continue our coverage there. But right now, it doesn't look like we have any viewers. Just a few of you, like 2 to 3 second people peeping in and calling it Christmas. But yeah, so we're gonna move over to YouTube and uh, yeah, YouTube and Facebook for live streaming. In case you guys want to see again, Puget Sound Stormwatch, Facebook and YouTube to see what's going on. But this is going to be the end of the live stream here on TikTok for today. So you all have a great day. Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch, signing off. All right, sweet. There were a few people that watched for a few minutes, but outside of that, everyone else has been a minute or less. Yeah, I know. People scroll on the live streams on the For You page, and they just scroll right past it usually. I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this at times too. Go check to see if the iOS Lightning app is picking anything up, which it's not. Yeah, lightning activity has come to a pause along the coast at the moment. Hey, do we have anyone watching from Edmonds, Linwood, or the surrounding area that has any intel? What's going on right now? And go ahead and let me know if you're seeing anything that's not rain. Linwood, dry and cloudy. Thank you. And you must be in a different part of Linwood then. So right now, downtown Linwood getting something from what I can see. But the outskirts aren't getting very much. Oh, Connor says, looks like I'm just on the edge of that shower though. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're probably not getting much of anything yet, but there's a good chance you will get something. Okay, yeah, you're on the 405 I-5 interchange area. Yeah, you're right on the tidbit of the shower. There we go. We got the change down to 40. So we saw a 3-degree drop in temperature at Hoquiam Bowerman since this front moved through. At least since the last update. But it's on the way. It's moving up through Aberdeen, Montesano, Raymond area right now. It's coming shortly. It'll still be around 2 hours or so before the South Puget Sound begins getting affected by this. It looks like that strong shower that was capable of producing a waterspout at one time has made landfall in the Manzanita area. Has a little bit of rotation, but nothing super strong at the moment. How's JBLM looking right now? Okay. No reports of rain and no wind at the moment. And we're not expecting big wind today. Any wind would likely be convective, which means within showers and thunderstorms. But again, no big wind expected at all. So this front is on the way for you. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours out to your west, but it's coming in sooner than later. On one of my reels on Facebook hit 50,000 plays. Really? That is madness. Okay, so Ben's actually live right now, still, isn't he? They must have either gone back for the night and come back up in the morning, or literally just slept in the car. Go tune into their stream real quick. Yep, they're live right now. The temperature actually went up a degree at Shelton. I expect that to come back down a little bit as this frontal system gets closer. Yeah, nearest lightning strikes down in Oregon right now. Nothing in Washington. And again, no big wind around the area. That 43 is wrong. Again, that station has been acting up since the week before Christmas. As the sun's rising on these showers and storms now, you can see just how bubbly these storm tops are. Like, this is a sign of pretty modest convection off the coast. At one point, they were heading west behind the snowplow last night. Hey there, Ashley, Kate Blaine Dusher, welcome in. Good morning to you. Heavy rain on the way, at the very least, heavy rain. Certainly a chance for some embedded thunderstorms within the front, but it seems like most of the storm activity has died out over the Washington coast as of now. But we'll be watching as some of these showers begin to move into radar coverage if they start producing lightning off the coast or not. And then once this colder air mass replaces the mild air mass in place, we'll have better conditions for potential isolated snow showers and maybe some lightning later on this afternoon around the area, but mainly the coast. Again, if we go check out the SPC forecast, day one, they actually shrunk it down a bit. So they've taken the Puget Sound area out of most of this and kept it mainly along the southwest interior and the coast. But this is effective within 25 miles of a point here. So extend this contour out by 25 miles. That is the effective range where you could see a thunderstorm today. So that does include like the Tacoma area, for example. Again, if you're within 25 miles of this green contour here, you have a better chance of seeing thunderstorms today than the rest of us. Ashley says, I'm ready for it. That's the spirit. $111 miles, so yeah, thunderstorms moving into the coast range of Oregon at the moment. Yeah, this line here is definitely weakened substantially since it moved onto the coast. That's just how you know that the air mass over the ocean is much more unstable than on land. It's very common to see this just fall apart and turn into slop this time of the year. It's what we're used to. It looks like the Elma Malone Porter area is next in line. So we already know Eatonville hardly gets anything. Let's see if we can change that luck this time around. It's entirely possible. It's going to be a what if today, really. Who gets rain, who gets snow, who gets thunder, hail, you name it. Pretty much all hazards are in the cards today. Okie doke. So yeah, the inland radar shows these showers moving into the Puget Sound area right now, but nothing heavy in nature. Wouldn't be surprised if some of these areas up here get some mixing precipitation or even some brief snow for a short amount of time. But down here with the lighter showers, it's almost certainly going to be rain. Or just light rain showers at best. Maybe even just a little mist. Like, around here we have a lot of mist storms, as some of us may call them. The heavier rain is still well west of Olympia at the moment. There's definitely some pretty okay looking cells off the coast, but nothing producing lightning at the time. But yeah, the back end of the front has passed over Hoquiam now, so I want to just keep an eye on that temperature, see if it continues dropping. Peaceful and soggy here in Oso, no wind, no rain. Enjoy it while it lasts. I'd say change is inevitable. Ugh. For anyone who's unaware, I'm kind of fighting a sore throat this morning. It's been coming up the last couple of days, and it's definitely hit its peak. Just trying to play it safe, but my body's definitely feeling the fatigue from having some sort of illness come up. Probably just going to be surviving off a cop drop for the last couple of days, or for the next couple of days. Which sucks too, because if I'm still sick going into the weekend, then I'm going to have to cancel my plans for wildcard weekend. I really, really do not want to do. Yeah, now we're just watching these showers in real time, see what happens. But again, all the lightning is off the Oregon coast and moving over the Oregon coastal range. Nothing over Washington right now. All right, we've been going for an hour 30. Awesome sauce. Get better soon. Yeah, I'm hoping this is just a couple day little scratchy throat and then it goes away. But I'll keep my eyes peeled and see what goes on. It's unfortunate too because I really don't want to get sick when I don't have any health insurance coverage. It's a very dangerous game to play. really, really dangerous game to play. But again, I'm hoping it's nothing more than a scratchy throat. And I don't have a temperature right now either. I checked my temperature too. I'm not running a fever, so that's a great sign. But definitely some voice box discomfort for sure. Let's go look at some air temperatures. Yeah, so temperature at Hoquiam and Bowerman again after that front pass is down to 40. So it doesn't look like the front was too strong out there, at least initially. But we're hanging around the upper 30s, lower 40s around much of the sound now. And same with the southwest interior, some 40s, but mostly in the upper 30s right now. It's definitely cool enough for a stronger shower to come through and again drag that snow level down. I bet we'll have more activity once the band enters Olympia. You'll definitely see some more reports come in of any precipitation, especially any frozen or mixed precipitation. And we're gusting to 28 now at Hoquiam, but the temperature is still 40. The back end of that system is passing through Aberdeen right now, and the front end of it is about to cross into Thurston County. But it seems like all of the lightning has dissipated for the moment. It's because all of the discrete cells that we had ahead of it have congealed into this long, sort of sloppy line. So it's not a favorable storm mode for widespread lightning. Oh, boy. Yeah, at the moment, if you guys want to put this stream in the background or even tune out for a little bit until this line moves into Olympia, feel free. Because in the meantime, there's really not much interesting going on outside of just watching this thing move up the I-5 corridor. So yeah, again, feel free to tune out for a bit, or even just put it on in the background while you're doing your normal tasks. And again, I'll make sure to update you guys in case to get any new updates on if there's snow, mixed precip, hail, lightning, etc. Because until then, the stream's not really going to be that interesting. We're just kind of on standby mode until something pops up. Still interesting. Thank you, Kim Leonard. And I'm just keeping my eyes on the lightning tracker and the radar in the meantime. How are recent models looking? Great question. Let's check a few things out real quick while we're waiting. Looks like 12Z Euro is running right now, but we'll go look at the 6Z, see what the 6Z is showing. Again, there's that frontal system they were talking about hanging off the coast. Literally, it moves in super quick and then just stops and then begins to dry out. And it looks like it gets ushered in by another frontal system here sometime on the day Monday. And that hangs around for a bit too. We're looking at wind. Doesn't look terrible. It looks blustery over the water as usual and along the coast. But elsewhere inland, it's nothing major right now. It's again another run-of-the-mill system like we saw yesterday. So nothing major expected. Let's compare that to the GFS. 12Z GFS is done. Yeah, there's differences in the GFS. The GFS really doesn't show that frontal system happening. It shows it in lower resolution. You can see it, but it's hard to tell with the resolution being so low. Then after that, the ridge sets up. And literally, it's pleasant conditions going all the way out into the middle, like the last quarter of January. And there's our trough coming through today. And then the ridge, the mega ridge directly over the area. Then the ridge begins to retrograde off to the west. And then after that, we have some Arctic air up here. If it sags down south a bit more, we may have a case for some Arctic air potentially in the last quarter of January. This would be underneath what I believe is an atmospheric river pattern. Not a strong one, but yeah, it is. That stream of moisture right there. Hello there, Tanya. Welcome in. These pivotal takes a while to render. Yeah, it shows a couple plumes of moisture moving in, but it's gonna have Vancouver Island under the bullseye. You know, we may have a quick little frontal system or weak atmospheric river move in at the start of next week, but it's gonna be just that, quick. And then another really quick little system moving through, by the looks of it, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday morning, potentially. And this is next week, by the way, not this week. Getting darker outside. You can tell something's coming. Yeah, something's definitely coming, that's for sure. Okay, no, we will not get that Arctic air for sure. It's fantasy at this point. Remember, really anything out past 3 days is a huge outlier. No guarantees. Absolutely no guarantees. Wonder if we'll get what the HER is showing. That would be a nice cluster of strong showers moving through at 11 a.m. if the HER is right. But if the rapid refresh is right, it's the HER's corrected itself on the timing for sure. It now lines up more with what the rapid refresh forecast system shows. But it doesn't show the precipitation as strong here on the RRFS model. You can tell that as this line propagates inland, it loses a lot of steam compared to as it is off the coast. Does it still show the convergence zone tonight? It does, yes. Be right up there, that little feature up there. That would likely be the convergence zone tonight. It's like, oh, there's the ding. Okay. Winter storm warning continues for the Cascades, and the winter weather advisory continues for the Lake Crescent area in Clallam County. Yeah, it still shows the convergence zone tonight. It's just a little hard to tell, but it looks like it starts somewhere around Island County at 7 p.m. and then moves off into Snohomish County and then furthermore into the foothills and passes by midnight tonight. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell on this model, unfortunately, but you can tell the convergence zone's right around there. A little harder to tell here on the HER. But I think this is our convergence zone right there. The HER shows a nice convergence over Skagit and Snohomish and Island counties at around 5 p.m. tonight. And then that moves off to the mountains pretty quick. Now, you notice the flow keeps changing directions. Out of the southwest here, and then it shifts to more out of the northwest, and then back to out of the southwest again. Yeah, this system's losing a lot of steam as it moves inland. Quite a bit of steam being lost. Yeah, once you get cut off from the warmer ocean air, you're going to lose a lot of steam from these showers. That's definitely verifying this time around. Even the showers along the Oregon coast are producing much less lightning this time around. It looks like the heaviest part of this rain is just about to enter Thurston County, at least the leading edge of it. It's about to enter Thurston County here very shortly. And then widespread showers moving into the Puget Sound now at this time. But the steadier rain and possibly rain-snow mix is on the way here. Again, in the next hour to hour and a half. Temperatures are a bit marginal right now, so it's going to take this heavier activity to really drag that snow level down, which appears to be weakening as it moves in closer. I'm not seeing any sign of any precipitation yet at the moment. Again, for anyone who may just be tuning in, we're just kind of dilly-dallying until this system comes into the Puget Sound. So the stream's really not going to be interesting for the next probably hour or so. We're just waiting until it really gets into Olympia and see if we get any reports that come in of any mixed precipitation. It seems like the lightning threat's starting to decrease. At least with the system itself coming in, the lightning threat appears to be decreasing. Just a matter of what comes in on the coast later on, with that much more unstable air mass taking place. That could be interesting, perhaps. Interesting enough, my phone's default weather app is saying expect snow in the next hour, which is likely wrong. That's why you never follow the default weather app on your phone. Just trust me, just don't. But anyways, if you're getting precip right now, go ahead and let me know what form of precip you're getting. Even if it's rain. Oh boy. Jeez Louise. Yeah, the lightning's really slowed down over Oregon too. I don't think we have any new strikes in the last 15 or so minutes. See, the temperature's going back up over Hoquiam, which if you want snow across a greater area, you don't want to see that temperature go up. Olympia getting rain. Okay, thank you. Ocean Park got a lot of hits on us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys were getting lit up earlier this morning. Around 7 o'clock when I woke up, I checked my radar app, and sure enough, it was just blowing up with lightning along the coast. Fall City and Snoqualmie Valley rain. Cold, though. Yeah. Worst thing about winter is the freezing cold rain, isn't it? It feels like it's cold enough to snow, but you just have just a hair too much marine influence coming off the ocean for widespread snowfall. Just a hair too warm. Story of our lives around here, Western Washington. Pass is okay. Stevens Pass is closed due to a power loss. Oh boy. Lost my 4-wheel drive last year due to a T-bone accident, and I miss it. Oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Devastating to have a 4-wheeler, but with no power to all 4 wheels, right? "21 inches of snow fell up at Stevens Pass in a 24-hour period." Starting to drizzle with no breeze up in Oso. Okay, thank you for the report. Yeah, in the meantime, anyone just tuning in, Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch. We're just kind of keeping an eye on things as this frontal system begins to move up the I-5 corridor. But it's really sloppy now. It's lost a lot of its strength. But there's still heavy enough showers to temporarily drag the snow level down, where temperatures are marginal at best. So we're just keeping our eyes peeled. And if you guys have any reports, do feel free to send them in. In the meantime, we're just playing the waiting game till this gets into the Puget Sound area. In which case, then I know a lot of reports will start coming in then. Yeah, the lightning's completely stopped. But you learn to expect these things so you don't become disappointed. Yeah, that system coming on shore has lost a good majority of its strength already. What time will it be gone? The main band of showers itself should be out of here by no later than 1 p.m. But we'll be under the gun for some of these isolated showers behind it the rest of the day and even tomorrow morning as well. So we're not completely out of the woods yet, but the scattered threat of any lightning or snow disappears by around 2 p.m. this afternoon. Then after that, it becomes extremely hit or miss. But the air should get cooler behind this front too. So it should drop a lot of us by at least a couple degrees. Ideally. Getting darker outside, but nothing happening yet. Ooh, now pouring. It's like a faucet in the Snoqualmie Valley. That changed quick, didn't it? Yeah, that would be why. Nice little shower setting up over the Snoqualmie Valley. And some light showers moving into the South Puget Sound and the Central Puget Sound right now. I need to drive from Seattle to Centralia today. When is the best time? Lightest rain. After this frontal boundary comes through, then that's going to be your best time. So I'd say right before the sun sets. Really, any time after 2 o'clock should be the best time because then the showers become very sporadic, hit or miss, and not steady. About went off the road on the way home from work on Highway 9. Snow coming down in Whatcom. Seems like Whatcom County is the place to be right now. I've heard several people chime in telling me they've gotten snow in western Whatcom County, particularly in the higher elevations. It's like the HRRR or her model kind of nailed that this morning. Again, snow coming down over the passes too. If you guys want a more interesting live stream, head over to Washington Weather Chasers, where Ben and Jonathan are currently streaming up in Stevens Pass up here. At least right now, the snow has just turned the flurries at best, but the heavier precipit's on the way. It's trying to move up the I-5 corridor right now, but it's losing a lot of strength as it moves in. It's just turning into light showers, which reduces the potential for seeing any snow down here in the Sound, at least in the short term. You're in the lower elevations. Okay, then you're in the sweet spot for some heavier showers then. Yeah, I've heard some of the lower elevations of Whatcom County were also getting some snow accumulation today too. Just because you had a really heavy shower set up there earlier. It's way up into Canada now, but this band of showers came directly over Bellingham in the surrounding area, moving from southwest to northeast, and it dropped quite a bit of snow on the ground. Not sure of any exact reports on snow totals yet, but lots of snow reports. Hey, Keith, good morning. Have you seen any snow in your area yet? Highway 9 can be nasty. Yes, agreed. I believe that for sure. Yeah, this shower band is a huge shell of itself. Go check temperatures again one more time. Still holding pretty steady. And yeah, the temperature is going up behind the cold front, which is interesting. Must be weaker than forecasted. Just on the highway, not at my place and up in the foothills. Looked at the traffic cameras, slush on the roadways in the Lake Samish area. Thank you for the follow-up, Keith. All my friends and family are getting bombarded up north with a ton of snow up in Whatcom County. Yeah, I've been getting reports since I woke up around 7 a.m. this morning that it's just been dumping snow in parts of Whatcom County. Really surprised they don't have a winter weather advisory up there, or have had a winter weather advisory up there, because it's definitely justified in this case. But the higher elevations are in a winter storm warning. But the lower elevations that have gotten some snow this morning haven't gotten zilch for any alerts, which I find kind of questionable. If people are calling these in to the National Weather Service, then they should have probably put a short fuse winter weather advisory out for western Whatcom County. Freezing levels are going up this week, yes, but only after Thursday. So we have to get through today and tomorrow first with lower freezing levels, and then they start to shoot way up. Yeah, that's strange, Jessica said. Yeah, again, if I was with the NWS, I would have already had that winter weather advisory out. But, to each his own. It looks like a nice little popcorn showers moving onshore between Cohasset Beach and Grayland. Not producing any lightning at the moment from what I can see. We'll have to watch the post-frontal showers too once they start getting in the radar range. See if anything more potent begins to show up along the coast. It's entirely possible, and models have hinted at some individual storm cells moving ashore as the day continues, but it's just not really translating to real life right now. At least not yet. They have 3 to 4 inches already up in Deming. Wow. Tiny bit of slush on Samish Hill and Bellingham earlier this morning. Thank you for the report. Appreciate that. While we're kind of waiting for things to materialize up here in the Puget Sound, just a little reminder for you guys. If you want to help donate to keep Puget Sound Stormwatch up full time going into the new year, this would be the best way to do it. ko-fi.com/Puget Sound Stormwatch. I will post it and pin it in the comments here on Facebook and YouTube. And the link is also in the lower right-hand corner of the stream. You guys look down below my face cam and to the right of the YouTube counter. That is also the link. And when you guys donate, you'll get a little pop-up here and your name will show up saying that a new tip was received from whoever donated it. And you'll get a notification on YouTube as well in the comments. Pretty cool. A little experimental product to start out 2026. And if you guys would like to help keep the Sound Stormwatch up full time, that is the best way to do it. But in the meantime, back to the weather. Again, temperatures marginal down here in the South Sound and the Southwest Interior, but a lot of us in the Central and North Sound are up in the 40s right now. So it's gonna take quite a bit to bring those freezing levels down, but not as much to bring the levels down here in the South Sound and the Southwest Interior. So this little boundary coming in may be just enough to drag the snow level down just a hair, to maybe see at least a few flakes for parts of the South Sound this morning. So far, all the reports coming in this area are just rain. Which I can attest I'm not getting any precip whatsoever here in Milton. Randy has some pictures of the snow. I've checked his Facebook page today and I've seen some videos being submitted in of the snow. Yeah, until the system moves up the Puget Sound, just a heads up for anyone still tuned in or just tuning in. This is going to be a little bit of a boring live stream until that happens. 40 degrees in my house, cloudy, 0.26 inches of rain. Send them to Port Ludlow. Well, Port Ludlow is getting some steady precip moving into the area, with temperatures marginal, so maybe you'll see a few flakes, but probably nothing more than a few flakes. I'm impressed on how quickly this system has died out after it got cut off from the ocean air. You see, we're starting to see a bunch of these little popcorn showers show up on the radar. And as they get closer, we'll have a better idea of what's going on offshore. We've had a few of these little bubble up, I like to call them popcorn showers again, where they just temporarily blow up into a little stronger cell that usually produces hail, maybe a clap of thunder, and then weakens again. Typically like a popcorn. But the main boundary itself coming in is just, it's a shell of itself. Which is not a good sign if you want to see snowflakes today around much of the area. "37 degrees in the Everett area." Thank you, Ivan, for the update. Pretty much done with the snow for the lowlands for now, Keith says. Yeah, I was hoping the models would be right in showing stronger precip coming in this round, but it doesn't appear to be the case this time around. At least so far. Again, it's looking like the high-res models kind of blundered this, which, go figure. I didn't have much faith in the high-resolution models anyways, but you know, it is what it is, right? This is what it's showing for 11 a.m., and I don't think it's going to come close to what the HER is showing. Like, not even close. Let's go check the NAM just for giggles. I think actually the NAM's doing a better job at showing this, not going to lie. Even then, the NAM appears to be overdoing it a bit, too. Let's see, the NAM shows this, too. It's southwesterly flow, switches to northwesterly flow, and then back to southwesterly flow again. Beyond aggravating living here sometimes, seems like almost every time there's a promising weather event. Starts off so promising, then by the time of this event, it always blunders. Yep, welcome to the life of a Pacific Northwest forecaster. You know, honestly, the lightning strikes over Oregon are expiring. There's absolutely 0 lightning strikes now. 0. But lots of unstable air making landfall, so we will see what happens this afternoon. I'm not seeing any notable temp drops right now, just showing you that that boundary is weakening and fast. Oh, never mind that. New lightning strikes down in Oregon. Again, Oregon's taking all the fun. Not this morning, though. This morning, the Washington coast was getting lit up with lightning strikes. Absolutely lit up. I think the SPC made a good call to reduce the area on that thunderstorm threat this morning. They could have easily just pushed it out to the immediate coast, and it would have been right either way. Oh, man. There's still some showers moving on the coast right now. There's nothing super strong. Like no lightning, no hail by the looks of it. Just your typical rainy day so far. But yeah, no big temp drops around the area, which is no good if you want to see snow. Your best bet for snow today, most likely, if you're not in Whatcom County, is going to be in the higher foothills. So, like areas North Bend eastward, realistically, probably going to be your best bet of seeing snow today. But we could potentially see a second round of snowy conditions for Whatcom County later on, depending on what goes on here with this area of showers over Victoria, BC right now. So we'll keep our eyes on that too as it gets closer. Keith says, I concur. Yeah. I think we're all in pretty good agreement here that this is likely not going to amount to much, if anything, for the lowlands. Now my weather app says sleet. It's funny. On my post last night has 431 reactions. It blew up. I hear windy going off. Some more lightning strikes somewhere. Looks like off the coast of southern Oregon here. Getting some new lightning strikes right there. But outside of that, not very much around here. Oh, hang on, something crashed. Okay, there we go. We're back. And we're not back. And we're back. All right, now we're really back. Good. See if any of these little isolated popcorn cells do anything while they're moving on shore. The air mass definitely doesn't look as mild as I thought it was going to be originally. But it may not be until tonight or tomorrow morning where the most mild of the air mass moves in. Not mild, but really chilly air mass. Like I'm talking about temperatures in the low 40s, upper 30s for most of the area. Come on, we need these temperatures to drop. So far, we're just not having things go our way. Dude, look at how quickly this band of showers died off. Like, see, it was going off earlier this morning along the coast. Then, as the band of showers moves inland, it just runs into a brick wall. Watch how quickly things really decay. See? It's a basically nothing burger now. Yep, just welcome to the life of being a Pacific Northwest weather nerd. Don't expect disappointment. Well, don't be disappointed because you expect disappointment. Should always expect disappointment, but don't be disappointed if that happens, like if that turns out to be the case. Which in cases like this is pretty much always going to happen. More lightning off the Oregon coast, the southern Oregon coast, but of course they're getting all the fun and we're getting nothing up here. Absolute sheer nothingness. See, lots of lightning showing up there now. Well, folks, I think I might consider ending the live stream right around this point, honestly. But we'll see. Go ahead and let me know if you want to see the live stream continue. Otherwise, because we're not really seeing much happen right now. At least in the Puget Sound area. But if you guys want to see the live stream continue, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, let me know if you're pretty much done with the live streaming today. Yeah, like Keith said, nothing's going on. Pretty much live streaming sheer nothingness at the moment because even with some of the heavier bands of showers coming through, the air mass is just just a hair too warm right now. Everything is dying down, like Keith said, much earlier than forecast. Which is why, my post that I made last night wasn't super in depth. I didn't want to go too in depth, but I still wanted to caution the potential. And it seems like it worked out more for Whatcom County than it did anywhere else. At least in my opinion. Not counting the lightning this morning. If something major happens, go live. Yeah, I'll have to be on standby for sure, but I think most of the major stuff is done. unless something pops up along the coast later on and we get some stronger showers, but it's just not really materializing as well as, again, models were showing at this time. Just the spot that really has my eye right now is down here in Pacific County with some of these little isolated showers down here. But even then, it's really not translating to much when it comes to frozen precipitation or any active weather. It's just rain showers at the moment. And I know a lot of people don't want to watch just for rain showers. So trust me, I understand. I understand your frustration. When will you do live again? Well, the weather's calming down. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not expecting anything major tomorrow. Let's go. I guess we'll take a peek at some model runs for tomorrow to see exactly what we're expecting. Seems like we could have some isolated showers along the coast that could be stronger, but elsewhere inland, it just doesn't look too impressive. Yeah, it looks like just a normal winter day again. Thanks for the wake up call this morning. Yeah, I know, right? It was a wake up call along the coast. I woke up just in time to get the coverage out for the coast right before the thunderstorms made landfall in areas like Ocean Shores and Ocean Park. But my coverage began a little bit after that. So there was still some lightning happening at the beginning of the coverage, but it has since really, really dropped off a cliff in coverage for sure. I think the NAM might have done the best, which is a surprise to me. It was doing okay picking up the showers, the snow showers up here in Whatcom County, I suppose, and it did an all right job with the showers along the coast, but it was pretty spotty. Again, no model's ever going to nail this to a T. Just why you have to keep your mind open and always be on the lookout for changes in model runs. And compare each model to model run and see which one catches onto a trend and which one kind of goes its own way. Yep, just the typical Pacific Northwest weather day. Isn't that the truth? Good for the weekend. That's what it looks like. Yes, it looks like we are doing all right for the weekend. Looks like a very calm weekend coming up for Western Washington in particular. When you get going, have a good day. Sounds good, Keith. Take care. Thanks again for tuning in. My weather app shows 35 in the snow shower at noon and then shoots back up. Again, the weather app sucks. Like it shows that it's sleeting right now over my area. It's not. It's it's just rain outside. It's nothing more than just rain. But I honestly think that's going to do it for today's coverage. Kind of lackluster. Yeah, maybe the temperature will go down suddenly. Maybe this front will decide to pack a punch later on in the day, but it's pretty much done. The front just disintegrated. It's just showers now. Again, the high-res models blundered this big time. Really, unless it was the NAM, it kind of just it blundered. We have a ding though. What's the ding for? Okay, area forecast discussion from Portland. Nothing huge. Yeah, even the showers in Pacific County are duds right now. The frontal boundary just really just got shredded as soon as it moved on shore. It was done. There's some moderate showers at best, but nothing major. And the air mass just seems a little too warm at the moment. Yes, it still could go down suddenly. It still could go down suddenly, but it just already melting up in Whatcom County. I believe it. It's not cold enough for it to stick around for more than a few hours. So interesting how these models, they all seem good about nailing one specific part of the forecast. Yeah, one will do well with wind, one will do well with snow, and so on. It's spotty. It's running off of computer algorithms, and computers don't know how the Pacific Northwest works. Just the way it is. That's why we're one of the most difficult regions in the area in the world to reliably forecast. I get 1 to 3 inches in Maple Falls area. Thanks for the heads up on that. Yeah, okay, well, I think that's gonna do it for our live coverage today. If only I would have gotten up at 6 a.m. to stream, that would have been a little more eventful. Interestingly enough, most of our storm action usually happens later on in the day, not before the sun even rises. Just another little enigma in Pacific Northwest weather forecast. Hey folks, any last minute thoughts from you guys before we hang it up for the day? If things do get crazy later on, then yeah, potentially a live stream. I may run some errands today depending on how I feel. If I start to feel better, maybe I'll go out and about, but right now it's like a low end kind of sore throat. Just a little tickle in my throat right now. So I don't think I'm like seriously coming down with something, but it's just there's been a pretty gnarly tickle in the back of my throat the last couple of days now. Many thanks to our local weather enthusiasts streaming. Appreciate you all. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you for the kind words. Take care. Yep, sounds good. I'll try my best to feel better. If anything goes crazy, at least expect some updates on Facebook and Patreon. And if you guys follow me on X and Blue Sky as well, I'm Puget Sound Stormwatch on all services. But yeah, guys, this is Anthony here, Puget Sound Stormwatch. We're starting out strong this morning with the weather. Thunderstorms along the coast and snow in Whatcom County. But elsewhere for the Puget Sound, just your typical kind of blunder with this. I'm not disappointed because I expect disappointment nowadays with the weather. Naps are highly underrated. Oh, yeah, they are. For sure, 100%. I'll do my best to take care. Thank you guys again for all of the kind words. Again, if you guys would like to send a generous donation in the form of a coffee tip, I have the link posted down below in the lower right corner of the stream, as well as pinned on Facebook and YouTube if you guys want to consider a small donation to help keep us alive going into this year. So again, thank you guys so much for everything. I'm going to be signing off. I'll be on standby. If anything crazy comes up like snow in the lowlands, then I'll definitely consider streaming it. So just stay tuned for that. Make sure if you're on YouTube, make sure to have that bell rung for future live stream notifications and any upload notifications coming. And with that being said, you all have a great day. Take care and stay weather aware.